Hello, Libras, and welcome to this, your early part of April readings and predictions. Welcome to all of you, both returning clients and viewers, as well as new ones. My name is Marnie, also known as Intuitive Butterfly, and this is going to be a general reading for anyone born under the sign of Libra, as well as anyone who has a lot of Libra in their charts. This will resonate with you as well. I just want to jump into a couple of things for clarification purposes before I actually pull cards. First of all, I work with a number of different oracle card decks, as well as tarot card decks, as well as intuition and psychic energies flowing. This is a general reading, which means that it's not going to resonate with all of you right here and now. I want to just dive in for just a moment about timing when it comes to psychic readings and when it comes to, oh, your prediction didn't come true. There are a couple of reasons why. First of all, let's talk about timing. When it comes to timing, when we're doing a reading as a psychic intuitive or just a tarot reading, not just a tarot reader, but you know what I'm saying. What we're actually doing is we're tapping into the ethereal realm, or a realm that is outside of our earthly plane. Time moves at different rates on different planes of existence. And so therefore, it's very difficult to sometimes predict the timelines in which things are going to happen. So that's one of the reasons why sometimes a psychic may say, okay, something's going to happen in 3 months' time, and then it doesn't happen in exactly 3 months' time. It's because they've tapped into another realm where time moves at a different rate. The second reason why sometimes psychic readings and tarot readings don't come true per se is because the reading done today for you Libras is being done here at the very end of March 2023 with the intention of looking into the energies and outcomes for April 1st through April 15th. Now, you may see cards in this reading predicting or projecting the energies that may be influencing you and what might be happening to you come April 15th. And you look at that and you go, no, that does not resonate with me. Forget about it. I'm not going there. And then you turn around and you make a whole bunch of conscious changes in your life. And you say, I don't want to change jobs. There's absolutely no way. And you tear up that resume that you were going to send out, and you no longer send it out. That changes the trajectory of your life right there. Done. Okay. That in turn changes the outcome of a psychic reading. Okay. So I just wanted to clarify that. There's a lot of misunderstandings about that. Oh, interesting. My camera just freaked out. See, my camera went into slow-mo and then came back in. Maybe my camera is tapping into these different realms of existence. Okay, Libra, let's get started. One last note. When I'm pulling cards, I do leave all of the cards sitting face down on my reading surface until I'm actually ready to read them. And the reason that I do this is because it allows for more of the psychic or intuitive energies to bubble up, rather than me seeing the image of all of the cards and being able to put things together in a certain way right off the bat. Because sometimes, actually what I found is quite often, the outcomes aren't as accurate if we go solely 100% based on the cards because they all came up at the same time. All right. The very first card that we're going to pull for you, Libra, is we're going to look at where you're at now. What energies are influencing you now, here sitting at the end of March 2023. All right. And the next cards that we're going to pull is what you are focusing on for April 1st through the 15th. What kinds of things are you focusing on? Now, this deck has been being really naughty. I did cleanse and clear all of the decks before I started, but this one's just been a little crazy. For the Libras, April 1st through the 15th, what are they focusing on? Oh, and now the deck is not going to talk. Oh, yes, it is. Sure enough, we just hadn't got to that point. Oh, see what I mean? One. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, Libra, for things that you're focusing on. All right. Let's have a look at difficult influences. What may be a little bit challenging to you? Difficult influences for the Libras, April 1st through the 15th. Difficult influences. Is there anything else that the Libras need to be made aware of? I guess not. That's actually a beautiful thing, Libra. Some of the other readings I've done for some of the other zodiac signs, we've had half a dozen cards over here in difficult influences. Okay, the next card that I'm going to pull for you, Libra, is a card that just makes sense. This is a card that has a tendency to kind of pull the rest of the reading together and bring in some clarity. And it's also a card that you turn it over and you just go, oh, right, that makes sense. So let me just tap into the cards again. Where are we going for this makes sense? And then back over here. Might be pulling more than one card here. This makes sense for Libras, April 1st through the 15th. Going to come out? Nope. Okay. All right, we do have 2 cards here. Are we pulling one more? Yes, we are. I'm getting called over to this deck. All right. What else makes sense for the Libras? What else does Libra need to know? Nothing, apparently. All right, we'll go through the deck one more time. What else does Libra need to know? And this makes sense. Okay, maybe we're not meant to have another card there. Yes, we are. Look at that one. Okay. The next card or cards that we're going to pull are cards of unexpected influence and insights. What is unexpected? Oh, I'm getting pulled in 2 different directions. Okay, cards, narrow it down, please. Yeah, okay. Over here to the Fairy Tarot again. Unexpected insights. Oops, that one's on the floor. Unexpected influences and insights for Libra. There's another one. Another one. Unexpected. Okay, so we do have 3 cards that have come out. Excuse me while I pick your cards up off the floor, Libra. All right, now the final cards that I'm going to pull for you are intended to be the overall outcome. So this is the cards that I was talking about at the beginning, the projected energies, outcome predictions. So where you're actually going to be at the middle of April. Okay. Outcomes. General overall outcome. All right. Okay, that was the last card, and that one, and that one. Okay. All right, Libra. Okay. You have 2 cards in the suit of autumn, also known as the suit of pentacles. The suit of pentacles corresponds to the element of earth and generally means money, business, career, job, those types of things. You do have the Three of Pentacles coming out first. Generally, the threes, when they come up in the tarot, are referring to something that we're becoming really passionate about, something that we're about to embrace. And I'm just going to read what it says on here because honestly, I can't say it any better. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. You will be compensated for your creative talents. I can't say it any better than that. That is the true meaning of the Three of Pentacles, also known as the Three of Autumn. You also have the King of Autumn that has come out. And the King of Autumn is a very assertive character. Okay. And when the King of Autumn or the King of Pentacles comes in, it reminds us to be assertive and to have boundaries when it comes to money and job and career. But the King of Pentacles can also indicate that there's somebody on the horizon, a mentor perhaps, who's going to be coming in and helping you to have that clarity, helping you to have the boundaries, helping you to be assertive in what it is that you want to achieve in your work or career, as well as when it comes to money. So what's coming up for me, Libra, is that I think perhaps for some of you, for a lot of you, this pertains to money, and having the King of Pentacles come up is a positive thing when it comes to your money, but it's also asking you to pay attention to advice you might be getting, whether that advice is coming from a certified financial advisor or from banking or even from friends and family. This card is asking you to sit up and pay attention to what's going on with your money. Pay attention to where the advice is coming from. And then I want to go back to free will. Okay, I am not giving you specific financial advice here. I am not legally permitted to do so. What I am saying is that the cards are indicating that there is something coming up with regards to your financial situation. There may be a mentor or some advice that you need to pay attention to, Libra. And what's coming up for me is that you're getting a lot of advice from different sources. And eventually you're going to have to tap into your own free will, tap into your own heart center, and make choices and decisions regarding your money or finances that really, really resonate with you. Okay, we're going to look at what you are focusing on. I'm just quickly flipping through the focus cards that have come out for you. Okay, you've got the turning in card. Honestly, I did not see this. This was face down. But what did I just say about these cards coming in? I said, it seems to me like you've got a lot of advice coming in from a lot of different sources, and you need to tap into yourself to figure it out. And Libra, there is your confirmation. Okay. If you look at the image on this card, you will see a whole bunch of shadowy faces in and around here, around the outer edges of the character on the card. Those shadowy faces are people who are giving her either solicited or unsolicited advice. And it is up to her to tune in and turn in to herself. Tune into yourself, tune into your heart center and your own free will to make your decisions. This is one of the things that you are being called upon to focus on from April 1st to the 15th, Libra. You have another Pentacle card coming up here, and this is the Queen of Pentacles, also known as the Queen of Rainbows here. It's interesting that you have both the King and the Queen of Pentacles coming in. This is another indication that you do have a lot of financial things that require your attention from April 1st to the 15th. The Queen of Pentacles reminds us that as much as many of us see money as a finite resource, when we recognize and acknowledge gratitude, we can grow our abundance. The next thing that you are focusing on is the Fool. This is the very first card of the major arcana of the tarot. And what the Fool brings into our life, specifically when it is surrounded by pentacles, and I do want to point out that your Fool here is surrounded by pentacles. You've got the Queen of Pentacles over here, and you've got the Ten of Pentacles over here. When the Fool is surrounded by pentacles, again, it's that reinforcement about money and job and career, and that's what the Fool is representing here. So what does the Fool represent? In the tarot, the Fool is the very first card. It's about new beginnings. It's about changes and shifts. It's about keeping some fun and folly in what it is that we are doing, particularly if it comes to money and job, career, all of those things. The Fool is not as foolish as we have been led to believe. But what the Fool is the Fool views life with a childlike wonder. And so you're being asked to look at money, job, and career with a little bit more of a childlike wonder. You have the Ten of Pentacles coming up as well here, Libra. The Ten of Pentacles is we are the world. Okay. This is a card of abundance. This is a card indicating that if you manage your money correctly, if you manage your work, job, or career correctly, if you're coming from the place of your heart, then the world is your oyster. This is one of the things that you are focusing on. You are focusing on experiencing. This is the Three of Wands. Interestingly, the very first card in your reading was a 3, and now you have another 3 coming up. Remember what I said, 3s are about beginning to make decisions, becoming to have a little bit more clarity, following your passions. And so the 3 of Wands is asking you to really, really experience what's going on. Don't just go through the 1st through the 15th of April on a very superficial level. This is asking you to dig deeper and experience the emotions. You do have a little bit of laziness coming in. You are not the first zodiac sign to receive this card. In fact, this is the 6th reading I've done for early April, and this is the 4th or the 5th time that this card has come out, which is absolutely fascinating to me. But the long and the short of it is that there is a part of you that is ready to sit back and rest on your laurels. And in some ways, because this was what you were focusing on, you're focusing on getting ready to sit back. Now, for all of the other signs that I've read for this card came up in their readings where it was a cautionary card telling them, be cautious, don't let laziness take over. However, what I'm picking up for you guys, Libras, is that this card is actually saying it's okay to sit back and take a vacation. I'm picking up really, really strongly travel or vacation for many of the Libras out there coming up in early April. And the final card that you have that you're focusing on is the Queen. Interesting that you have yet another Queen. Here you had the Queen of Pentacles, and now you have the Queen of Swords. And what the Queen of Swords or Queen of Clouds, as represented here, represents is morality. And when this card comes up in our focus, it means we are beginning to question why we do certain things. Why is that important to us? Why do we cut up our vegetables a certain way? It could be something as simple as that, or it could be something as important as why do we put our money in traditional banks? Okay. Well, we've always put our money in traditional banks. This is one of the aspects that you will be focusing on, Libra, April 1st through the 15th. And honestly, I think that the very first card that came up for your focus and the very last card that came up for your focus are probably the 2 most important cards that came up for you for April 1st through the 15th. Question everything. Question why you're doing certain things, certain ways in your life. Difficult influences. Okay, you've got the Sage. Be devoted and committed. This is coming up in difficult influences. Well, if this is one of your focuses, this laziness card is one of your focuses, then guess what? You're going to struggle with being devoted and committed. Not surprising. But like I said, for many of you, I'm not viewing this card as that cautionary card that I did for many of the other signs. This card in this aspect of the reading, and based on the other cards that it was surrounded by, is telling me that you are likely to be taking a break, whether that's a vacation or maybe just a weekend away, or maybe just locking yourself at home in order to be able to explore morality, because these two cards were together. Okay. This card is more for you guys about taking a break and stepping back. Okay. But this card in your difficult influences is telling me that you may struggle with carving out that time for yourself, Libras. So I encourage you to carve out some time for yourself to be able to explore all of these questions during the early part of April. And this makes sense. You've got set your sights higher. That makes sense. Right? If you're dealing with all of this financial stuff, makes sense that you're going to want to set your sights higher. Take time to reflect. You've got the Mirror Guardian in your this makes sense. What did I just say? I just said you may struggle to find time to go within. And then you got the Mirror Guardian. Okay. And the last card that you have in this makes sense is the Breakthrough card. This is the Lightning card. This card is the card from this particular deck that would correspond to the Tower, for example. It's where we have that surprising aha moment, and there's a huge shift that happens in our lives. The majority of the time, the outcome is beautiful on the other side, but it can be a little bit jarring, the same way that it can be jarring when you're in the middle of a thunderstorm and there's that big crack of thunder that hits really, really close to your house and things shake. It can be jarring when we're going through this change and those aha moments. When we begin to explore our morality, why we do things a certain way, and you're not the first sign to begin to question everything, particularly this month, April of 2023. It's not surprising that cards like this show up and let us know that there are going to be some pretty significant changes coming up for us, Libra. Not a bad thing. In fact, I believe that it's a good thing and that it's been way too long in the pipeline coming out for us. But for some of us, yeah, there's going to be that when it happens. Let's have a look at your unexpected insights. Okay, you've got the Prince of Summer coming up, also known as the Knight of Cups. And this is a card of the potential being out there for you being swept off your feet. Now, normally, this would be a card that would come up in a love reading. But with all of these other pentacles and everything else that's come up, this morality card, these other pentacles, things that are really, really pointing towards money for you, I want to say that this is about you needing to stay grounded when it comes to your money. The other thing is that this card to me is coming up as a cautionary card for you, Libras, that because this is a card of somebody potentially sweeping into your life and sweeping you off your feet, what's coming up for me intuitively or psychically is watch for a wolf in sheep's clothing when it comes to your money. Remember what I said is that, the king may indicate that that there's a mentor or someone coming in, but you need to really, really tap into your own heart center and your own intuition when it comes to making decisions about your money, and make sure there's no wolf in sheep's clothing coming in around you. That's what I'm picking up for this card. Remember, when we read the tarot, it is not just about reading the little blurb on the bottom and believing that that is the end all and be all. Part of reading tarot is reading psychically and picking up the other meanings of it, just as I did with this laziness card for you, that I feel this is more about you taking a break and stepping back so that you do have the opportunity to tap into yourself and go into this experiencing and really, really explore morality. Like I said, some of what I'm picking up intuitively and psychically, and that's what I'm picking up with this card. I'm not picking up the ancient from 1,000 years ago specific meaning of this card. Watch for a wolf in sheep's clothing, Libra. The second card that I have for you here is the number 4 from the Major Arcana, the Emperor. This is a card telling you to be organized. Do your due diligence. Interesting that you have this card next to a card that doesn't necessarily have the meaning for which I picked up for it. But yeah, these two cards together, do your due diligence. Really, really be digging deep. And again, I want to say, Libra, this pertains to your financial situation. And the final card that you have in your unexpected influences is the 6 of Winter, also known as the 6 of Swords. Again, you are not the first zodiac sign to have this card and have it in this particular position where it's an unexpected thing. Positive changes are on the way. And the other thing that this card has on it, travel or relocation. Really, really interesting that when it came to this card, I didn't pick up laziness. I picked up the potential for travel. And it's really interesting that you now have a card indicating the potential for travel. And I do want to say these 3 cards came up in unexpected influences and insights, which means that the travel that may be coming up for you, whether it's a weekend getaway or whether it's a longer vacation, is most likely unexpected. Okay. Let's have a look at your outcome. Oh, beautiful cards for outcome. So you have the 2 of Wands. This is the card of possibility. Now, this card can have a dual meaning, having the 2 on it here. It can be the card of duality, where you're looking in one direction and looking in another direction and going, what do I do? There's choices here. Okay, that's what the possibilities represents. And I do believe, Libra, that when it comes to your money and finances for the first half of April, there is going to be a duality that is presented to you. There are going to be at least 2, if not 3 or 4 different directions you could go with regards to decisions about your money, Libra. And you're just going to have to narrow that down. You have the completion card. Beautiful, beautiful card for your outcome. This is the indication that you are completing a cycle, Libra. You are completing something. Information is coming full circle. And when this card comes up, it means that you will be able to make the decision about the possibilities. You are seeing things from a higher perspective. The eagle here represents seeing things from a higher perspective. Not surprising, because you were told, take time to reflect, and you were told, set your sights higher. So not surprising that you're seeing things from a higher perspective with this possibilities card. And you are moving into a place of completion. What happens after a completion? We have a new beginning. And guess what suit that's in, Libra? You see that? Pentacles. This is the Ace of Pentacles, representing new beginnings for you when it comes to your finances, your job, or your career. And The reason that this card is beautiful at the very end of your reading is that when we reach completion of a cycle, it means that we've grown enough to dive into a new phase of our lives. And we can only do that when we achieve maturity. Okay, when we've achieved all of the growth that we needed to experience, we can then dive into this place of maturity. And specifically in your case right now, Libra, when it comes to making money decisions. All right. Thank you so much for joining me again here at the beginning of April 2023. And I hope that you will join me again for your next reading in the middle of the month. Thank you.